We're counting down the 10 iconic toys every kid who grew up in the 1990s had, but almost never kept. From digital pets that demanded our constant attention to playground fads and holiday frenzies, these childhood obsessions vanished just as quickly as they appeared, and you won't believe how many were banned, recalled, or simply forgotten. Which one tops the list? Let's start with the first digital phenomenon that sparked a nationwide classroom crackdown. Tamagotchi burst onto the scene in 1996, turning a simple keychain into a full-time responsibility. Each digital pet needed feeding, cleaning, and attention almost every hour, or it would sicken and die on the tiny screen. Kids carried them everywhere, sneaking peeks under desks and begging teachers for bathroom breaks just to keep their pets alive. By spring 1998, the beeping and distraction reached a breaking point. Schools across the U.S. started banning Tamagotchis and confiscating them by the dozens. The craze faded almost as quickly as it began. Once the classroom lifeline was cut, the Tamagotchi era quietly ended, leaving a generation with bittersweet memories of virtual pets that could truly disappear forever. Pogs turned playgrounds into miniature stock markets almost overnight. What started as a simple game from Hawaii, flipping cardboard milk caps for fun, became a full-blown obsession by 1994. Branded sets and rare metal slammers gave kids instant status, and the rules were ruthless. You played for keeps, the winner took the stack. Suddenly, losing a match meant losing your best pieces, and playground arguments sometimes turned into real fights. Theft and accusations flew, and by 1995, schools across the country started banning Pogs over gambling concerns and constant disruption. With the bans in place, the entire craze collapsed just as quickly as it had arrived. Tickle Me Elmo set off a holiday frenzy in 1996, and toy aisles turned into literal battlegrounds. After a single appearance on The Rosie O'Donnell Show, demand exploded. By Black Friday, stores from coast to coast were wiped out. At a Walmart in Fredericton, New Brunswick, a stock clerk named Robert Waller was knocked down and trampled by shoppers desperate for the doll. He left with a broken rib, a pulled hamstring, and a concussion. The $28.99 toy was being resold for over $1,000, sometimes as high as $1,500. Tyco sold 1 million Elmos by year's end, but the mania vanished by January. Once the shelves were restocked, nobody cared. Furby landed in 1998, promising a new kind of toy, one that could talk, learn, and even develop a personality. Tiger Electronics shipped millions that first Christmas, with lines out the door and shelves wiped clean in hours. Furbish was the little language they started out speaking, but after enough attention, they would surprise kids by switching to English. The real surprise came at night. Parents reported Furbies waking up and chattering from closets at 3 in the morning, refusing to stay quiet until the batteries were yanked. Stories spread so fast that even a U.S. intelligence agency briefly banned them from secure offices. Worried the unpredictable toys might overhear secrets. Over 40 million were sold by 2000, but once the novelty faded and the midnight chatter got old, Furbies were quietly boxed up and forgotten. Sky dancers promised magical flight with a quick pull of a cord, but reality was anything but graceful. The dolls could shoot off in wild directions, sometimes right at kids' faces. Reports of injuries piled up, scratched corneas, broken teeth, even concussions. By June 2000, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission issued a recall for nearly 8.9 million Sky dancers, after more than 100 documented injuries. The recall wiped the toy from shelves almost overnight. For a generation, Sky dancers became a cautionary tale, a toy that soared too close to danger and then vanished after one of the biggest recalls of the decade. The Super Soaker CPS 2000 hit stores in 1996 and instantly changed every neighborhood water fight. Unlike the pump-action blasters before it, this one used a pressure bladder system, launching nearly a liter of water in a single blast. Range tests from the time clocked it at almost 50 feet, enough to soak a rival from across the yard or even knock over a soda can. Word spread fast, and soon parks and summer camps started posting rules. No high-powered water guns allowed. Stories popped up of cars getting drenched in parking lots and parents complaining about bruises from close-range hits. Hasbro never issued a recall, but within a few years, the entire Extreme CPS line disappeared from shelves, leaving collectors and water war legends behind. Pokemon cards exploded onto schoolyards in 1999, turning lunch tables into trading floors and rare cards into playground gold. The first edition Charizard was the jewel. Kids whispered about sales hitting $350, a fortune for a piece of cardboard. As binders filled with hollow foil treasures, fights and thefts started making the news. Principals sent home letters, and one by one schools banned trading altogether. Suddenly, the game that made you rich in friends or enemies was off limits. When new sets flooded stores and the rarity faded, so did the frenzy. The original cards vanished, leaving a generation to wonder if their childhood binder could have paid for college. Beanie Babies turned stuffed animals into stock picks. Ty Incorporated would suddenly retire a model, sparking stampedes and price guide mania. By 1998, rare Beanie Babies like Peanut the Royal Blue Elephant fetched up to $4,000. Collectors traded billions. Then in 2000, the bubble burst. Overnight, most were worth less than lunch money. Across all 10 toys, one truth stands out. The 1990s fads didn't just shape childhood, they revealed how quickly culture moves on. Nostalgia lasts, but trends vanish almost overnight. Which one did you lose?